Kevin Feige is doing his press tour for Deadpool and Wolverine. He's been doing a lot of interviews. We're about less than a week out for Deadpool and Wolverine. Comic book / Phase Zero did an interview with him. I'm not a big fan of Brandon Davis. I know he's big in the community, but he personally made fun of something I said on Twitter years ago, and I haven't really felt the same way about him since. But I try not to hold a grudge, but he just was kind of a bully back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's had that experience, but regardless, let's check this out. I think he gets Feige to talk about X-Men versus Avengers possibility. Let's check it out together.
Deadpool and Wolverine, you guys are knocking it out of the park from what I've seen so far.
Thank you.
Before I get to that,
yes.
Since the last time we've talked, I've become a massive collector. I love Hot Toys and Sideshow
When
stuff.
was the last time we talked?
San Diego Comic-Con 2022.
2 years.
So in the past 2 years, I've become a big collector, and
yes.
I know you're a pretty big collector of things
yes.
yourself, stuff.
Yes.
What is your most prized possession? What are you after when you're collecting stuff?
I collect a lot of the childhood Star Wars toys that I had when I was a kid, or the ones I didn't have when I was a kid and wanted primarily,
exactly.
Right? That's how the collector bug gets you.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Hot Toys. I love the Hot Toys because they are perfect representation of. I look at a Hot Toy and remember all of the costume discussions and makeup discussions and everything.
I've been getting into Funkos lately, which I kind of regret, but I kind of love at the same time. I don't have any right here next to me, but I love collecting too. Just a matter of when I'm able to. Comic books, DVDs, Blu-rays, posters, movie memorabilia, props, whatever. If I like the movie, I want a piece of it.
That led to that moment, and I'm sure I've said to you in the past, when we're looking at costume designs or character designs, we always know that it's right and ready to move into production when we go, I'd buy that Hot Toy.
That's so cool.
I'd buy that Hot Toy.
They made a Kevin Feige Hot Toy just for you, I saw. That's pretty cool.
They made one. And I kept it in a box.
Well, if you ever get tired of it, and my collection is missing one, I can never get.
Yeah.
Did you keep anything from the Deadpool and Wolverine set to add to your collection? Do you have any movie props in there?
I don't steal studio property, Brandon. I don't do that.
Well, technically, it's kind of yours.
I don't know. It's the studio. It's the Walt Disney Company.
That's fair. Mickey's. Well, you never know. You might be looking. The first scene in the first Deadpool movie, we hear Wade talking about. He loves love. Love is a daffodil daydream. And now in Deadpool and Wolverine, we're adding X-Men, we're adding MCU, we're adding spectacle and so much bombastic excitement. Yeah. But also it seems like at the core, love is what this movie's about. How do you keep that at the core of the character when you're adding all these fun elements?
Well, I think you just said it. It's always been the core of Deadpool, and it's always been the core of what Ryan wants to bring to it. And you see in the beginning of the footage and in the final trailer that we just released, he says, "I know I joke all the time, but I just want to matter. I want to do something." And that is so meaningful and really sets him on his path in this movie. And that all came from Ryan saying we're going to do a third movie, and a third movie now with the resources and access to a much bigger part of the universe in the MCU. How do we do that justice?
Is this movie more improvised than any other Marvel movie before?
No.
Really?
No, it's not. And I don't know if that makes it sound less fun. Ryan and Sean are incredible professionals that plan and develop and plan and try things. So there's improvs. But I would say 90% of it is scripted.
Yeah.
Is scripted.
That's cool. I would. Yeah, those sets are probably so much fun to
Yes.
see these guys work. Now, with the MCU joining Deadpool, that means Deadpool's also now joining the MCU. Maybe eventually he shows up in another character's property and in an ensemble property. If that film is not rated R, have you started to already think about how do we fit Deadpool into the PG-13 setting?
Well, I mean, yes, and you know what's fun, obviously, about the comics is anybody pops up anywhere. But also, what's fun about the team-ups in a Marvel team-up is it's almost always characters that don't belong together. I remember sitting in interviews like this when we were I think promoting Iron Man 2, and people knew that we had Thor in production, and we had announced that we were going to make an Avengers movie, and people were going, "How in the world is Thor, this Norse mythological god, going to be able to be in a scene with Tony Stark? Mm-hmm. How's that going to work?" And my answer was, well, that's kind of the movie. That's kind of the whole idea, is to take these people that shouldn't be together and put them together.
Yeah. Back at those times, there was like Marvel TV first started with Netflix, and now the Marvel television banner has returned directly under Marvel Studios, it seems.
Yes.
How much more collaborative do you think Marvel Studios and the Marvel television for stuff that's going to Disney Plus is compared to how it was back when it was Daredevil and Punisher on Netflix?
Well, I mean, yes, as you say, it's all still under Marvel Studios, which was not the case with the previous incarnation of Marvel Television. But one of the reasons we wanted to do that is so that the animation team can get the Marvel animation team that just did X-Men 97 and have a bunch of great shows in the works, some of which are done and then coming out next year. And Marvel Television to focus it so people realize, like the comics, tap into something you're interested in and, check into it. You shouldn't, it's not all required viewing, right? There's a sense that people say superhero fatigue. I actually think it's almost the feeling of having to do homework fatigue, right? These are all individual stories meant to be enjoyed as singular entities. The connectivity is a bonus and something that a lot of people like. And I think is one of the singular defining notions of the MCU, but having movies with the Marvel Studios logo, TV shows with the television logo, animation. Yeah. Seems pretty smart.
Yeah, man, keeping you busy.
It's called television.
What?
I do think that in terms of requirements and what to watch and doing homework for, figuring out what you need to watch this and that, watch what you want. And you can always go back later and watch it for yourself. That's what I've done in the past. If there's no way for us to watch every single, a lot of people have watched every single Marvel movie, which I have, but there's going to be other references to other movies that I might hear in Deadpool and Wolverine that's going to make me want to go back and check out what that specific reference was, or, it doesn't have to be a movie, a song, a thing, whatever it may be. But, it still will stand on its own, and you can enjoy it as is. But watch what you want to watch, and can always go back and rewatch in a different order and add some stuff to it,
Speaking of connectivity, one thing, when I was a kid, X-Men movies, I came out about 10 years old, and I loved the X-Men movies. And then the MCU came 2008, fell in love with the MCU, Iron Man, the Avengers, and I was like, I really want to see these characters together. And that's how I learned what movie rights are. They can't, because Fox had the X-Men, Disney had the Avengers.
Yes. Now
they're all under one roof. And I have to ask, is that, like, those originals, you brought Hugh back. Has Hugh coming back maybe reinvigorated some interest from people we thought might be done? Could we see an Avengers versus X-Men type event that combines those casts?
Well, what's fun is it's all possible now. And I'm glad that we could educate you on film rights and IP law. And I also learned those things when I started at Marvel a long time ago. And the frustration of when you don't have access to all of your characters. So when we were doing Civil War, for instance, or even the Infinity War, there were just dozens of characters that we had to take out of those comic stories because we didn't have access to them. Now, as we choose upcoming storylines, we don't have to do that.
True.
And we have access to all of them.
When you are choosing directors for your next Avengers movies, the hot rumor right now is my guys, the Russo brothers. I love those guys.
Yes.
Is that true? Are you talking to them?
What was the hot rumor 2 weeks ago?
I think Sean was in there. I think.
What's going to be the hot rumor 2 weeks from now?
Me, hopefully.
Hey!
No, I want Nova.
That's what you want to direct?
Yeah, I want to be part of that project in any way.
You've been talking about it for years, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm trying to will him into existence. Where is he?
It's coming together.
Is Nova coming?
Richard Rider.
Do you think that is more of a movie or show type of character?
A show.
Show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Any idea when, maybe?
No, I mean, it would be 3-4 years out.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. I'm patient. I'll wait. Okay, I'm Deadpool and Wolverine will keep me busy. Another question I keep asking is who bought Avengers Tower? So Spider-Man Homecoming, we found out Tony Stark sold Avengers Tower. Did you know then who bought it? Is it the same answer now?
That's
and
a
will we
good
find out
point.
anytime soon?
Yes, and yes.
Fair enough. All right. Thunderbolts has an asterisk in its name. Will we find out what that's for anytime soon?
What's your definition of soon?
Year?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not bad. Very fun. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought down below. What are your theories? And are you guys excited? I'm so excited. I just want the movie to come out. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.